Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. I'm Joe, and I'm going to try to get a live match going here. It can be pretty difficult on Cockatrice. I rolled a 1, the opponent rolled a 20, but I drew an excellent hand, so that makes up for it. Turn 1 Aether Vial, turn 2 Spreading Seas, and Cursecatcher, follow up with I'll keep the opponent's mulliganing, and it kept on 6, so not too bad. Alright, so let's see. What is the opponent playing? Tron. Got our Spreading Seas, so feeling pretty good about it. I think we open Wanderwine Hub just in case we draw more blue, or does it not matter? Maybe we want to attack with Mutavault. No, we're going to play Spreading Seas on turn 2. So it doesn't really matter. I'm going to open with Mutavault here into Aether Vial. Don't know what type of Tron yet, probably red-green. Mutavault's pretty good in this matchup against Ugin the Spirit Dragon. He can't deal damage to them during their turn since Mutavault won't be activated. But we see it's blue Tron, so you might try to remand my Spreading Seas, in which case I'm just going to use Cursecatcher. So we need to be careful here. I'm going to play Wanderwine, revealing my Master of the Pearl Trident, and then go ahead and cast Spreading Seas. Might try to Condescend or Remand. Let's see. He did mulligan. Alright, so and that's a good card. So one of my good friends plays Mono Blue Tron. Maybe he's going to try to bounce my Aether Vial with Repeal. Yeah, and that's getting countered. I love it. Doesn't even get to draw a card. So things going excellently for us so far. I was starting to say that one of my good friends plays Mono Blue Tron. So I know the cards in the deck pretty well. I know that once they have blue mana, giving them extra blue mana is not really a drawback for us. Against Merfolk, turning one of their Mutavaults into an island can actually help the opponent. But against Mono Blue Tron, giving them another island once they already have one, just as long as we're hitting a Tron land, we're setting them back. So let's see what he's got here. Talisman of Progress. So white or blue mana, and he's got blue up. All right. Gonna advance our Aether Vial here. Another Mutavault. So maybe we just start attacking here, or maybe we go for Spreading Seas with the opponent low on cards. Well, we do have the Master of Waves, so making him counter a Spreading Seas now means that he's less likely to counter a Master of Waves later. So I like that play. He might try to Condescend for 1, in which case we want to be able to pay for it. So I'm going to play my Mutavault now. Drawing arrow. He's thinking. Thinking. So he's trying to remand it, and that is going to work. You got it? Alright, so I played my land, and that's it. Urza's Tower. So he had Natural Tron. That's pretty gross. I do have Spreading Seas, though. Let's go ahead and put this guy onto the battlefield. Or maybe we just put Master because he can have like Platinum Angel, and we want ways to interact with that later. He might have like a spatial contortion to deal with my Master. I think that will leave Aether Vial on 2 for now. Another Master of Waves. I mean, if we just start attacking with the Mutavault, it's a 4-turn clock. I think maybe we attack first, just with the Master. It's only 2 damage, but should that... And then, this is tricky. Do I want to give him access to potentially having Tron? If he plays a map and cracks it next turn, I think I should have attacked with a Mutavault there. A little bit of a rush. With 3 Mutavaults, we can't hardcast Harbinger with Flash, but we've got AEther Vial for that anyway. Alright, I mean, he can Condescend for 3 here, which stinks. So, maybe I just go for Spreading Seas here. Or Master. If he had a map already, he would have played it. Going for Master of Waves, though, puts a lot of pressure on him, and we still have the Spreading Seas in our hand. Force him to use a counterspell on Master of Waves. Condescend? What's going on? Condescend for 2. That's going to counter it, and he gets to scry 2. Which is fine. Again, Spreading Seas is really, really important here, and we do have another Master of Waves in hand. We're also potentially swinging for 8 next turn, 11 if we bring in the Harbinger on the opponent's end step. He doesn't like... no, he does like his cards. So puts a card from the library into the library, but he hasn't stopped looking yet, so not quite sure what the plan is. For those of you not so familiar with Condescend, it's 1 blue and X, counter spell unless the controller pays X. He just bottomed 1, so he liked one of the cards that he sees. I don't know that I have any videos of Mono Blue Tron on my channel yet, so there is the natural Tron. Frustrating, but maybe he has a Karn or something, which we can just deal with right away. We can also deal pretty well with Ugin the Spirit Dragon. He can get rid of our Lord, but we can activate 2 Mutavaults, bring in a Harbinger, and crack for 6. That's pretty wild, though, how he had natural Tron through, excuse me, through Spreading Seas. Tapping for 6 mana, now 8 mana. He's got 2 left. Sundering Titan. Aha, that only hurts him. But I guess, you play what you have in your hand. So I have no basic lands, so he can't destroy any of my stuff. Sundering Titan, this guy's kind of crazy. When he enters the battlefield or leaves the battlefield, doesn't have to just get destroyed, doesn't have to be exiled or whatever. It's like Thragtusk. When he comes in, when he leaves, stuff happens. He destroys, he gets to pick a type, one of each basic type. So I do have Island Walk. If I bounce, maybe I want to bounce this guy. That seems actually pretty spicy. So I'm going to leave Harbinger in my hand for now. So I cast Spreading Seas now and interrupt his Tron. He attacks with Sundering Titan and I bounce him with Harbinger, and then he can't recast him. That's awesome. So, and I think I'll play out my second AEther Vial as well. Oh, sorry. I rushed to the attaching part of it. So is Condescending for 1? Alright, so he just wants to scry at this point. Now I get to draw another Mutavault. Really interesting. Let's see. Well, I haven't played a land yet this turn, so okay. So then I will play my land, play an AEther Vial, and just end my turn. This might be the first time in half a year or something that I've drawn all 4 Mutavaults and gotten them into play. This is always so nice when you get to bounce something and they can't replay it because of something you did the previous turn. Yay! Actually, hold on a sec. So Sundering Titan says, choose a land of each basic land type, and then destroy those lands. I know it's a non-basic island, but island is a basic land type. All right, so he keeps the land for now. We'll check it and possibly change it. I mean, it does make a difference if what is he playing? If he plays an Oblivion Stone or something like that. Okay, Chalice on 2 is fine. We've got our AEther Vials and Mutavaults, and game's probably not going to last too much longer. The only card in his hand is Sundering Titan, and he can't play that for like another 4 turns, unless he draws an Urza's Tower. There's a Reejerey. That's pretty good. Let's see. If we activate both Mutavaults and swing, it's 11. It's a 2-turn clock. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to play anything at this point. So it is 11. Just going to tell the opponent. He's tapped out, and 17 down to 6. I mean, even if he draws a tower and plays that Sundering Titan. Alright, so game 2. Alright, so after sideboarding, we'll have lots of counterspells. As I mentioned, I'm pretty familiar with this matchup. They tend to take out things like Wormcoil Engine since they often can't block against our Island Walk, and they bring in things like Platinum Angel. I think Sundering Titan's probably going to come out. Bounce effects are pretty strong just because Platinum Angel is a real pain in the butt. We didn't see any spatial contortions that game, so I don't know how useful Kira is. My friend who plays Mono Blue Tron actually told me that Kira is one of the most annoying cards against him. Hurkyl is potentially good because they play so many artifacts. So I think I'm going to take Echoing Truth out. Hurkyl is a really clean answer to Platinum Angel. I think I might actually, let's see, bring in all 4 of these things. Take out the 2 Vapor Snags. Spreading Seas, we're going to keep in, obviously, to keep them off of Tron. With Hurkyl coming in, Harbinger is a little bit less useful. All of these counterspells are definitely wanted. I don't know that we want 4 Hurkyl's Recalls. It's not affinity, but pretty much all of their cards are artifacts. The only thing that Hurkyl doesn't hit are Planeswalkers, and our creatures can deal with the Planeswalkers. Mutavaults, the hand I had last game would have been great against Planeswalkers, but we didn't see any. Cursecatcher, not amazing because of their ramp, and we can't counter artifacts with Cursecatcher, so I'll take out all 4 Cursecatchers. All of these bounce spells, since Hurkyl's Recall is just better than them. So that's 7 out so far. We need to take 2 more out. I think we can take out 2 Harbingers. He might be bringing in Dismembers, that kind of stuff, in which case Kira is good. Again, we didn't see any spatial contortions last game. Have the Hurkyls, so Harbinger, not super necessary. We're up a game. We can see what kind of, we can see a little more of the opponent's strategy, and if necessary, we can bring the Harbingers back in for game 3. So taking out 10, bringing in 5 counter spells, 4 Hurkyls, and a Kira. I feel decent about that. This is sketchy. Super sketchy, but we get 2 draws to hit a land, and then we get to keep them off of Tron forever. But being on the draw, they get to leave up Condescend and Remand. We do want Cavern of Souls or AEther Vial if possible. Double Spreading Seas is pretty awesome. 1 island on the draw against Mono Blue Tron. If we draw into a land, is this hand amazing? Like, imagine that Master of Waves was a land. I would certainly keep this. So, it's got a lot of gas. I think I'll keep. Alright. Map. Yep. Expedition Map. Very powerful card. Hurkyl's Recall makes his hand better, but I do need to hit a land. Two power plants, better than another Tron land. Chalice on 1 is okay. He can't play out any more maps, that's a little bit weird. Oh, that's so good. I'm a happy boy. It was a sketchy keep, but it got there. We really need to hit some lands, though. You know, hitting a doubled up Tron land is not super great because, you know, they still have access to one of them. But he's still 2 away, which makes me feel pretty good. He's tapping 3 for, well, he's tapping out Oblivion Stone. Okay. That is interesting. I think maybe, well, let's see what I draw. AEther Vial. So Oblivion Stone takes 5 to activate. Expedition Map is going to get in a land no matter what. So, if I hit this power plant, he's going to be 3 lands off of Tron. He can crack the Oblivion Stone eventually and get rid of my 2 Spreading Seas. We can start attacking with Mutavault. I do have to go to discard then. I could bounce. No, let's see. Maybe I just attack with Mutavault and discard Master of Waves. Yeah, he's pretty far away from doing anything super threatening. I mean, this is a 10-turn clock. It's not really what I'm planning on winning the game with, but at this point, it's just a bit of a holding pattern. Chalice on 1 doing a tiny bit of work against AEther Vial. I certainly would have run out the AEther Vial that turn, especially with him tapped out. So there is a tower. Getting a little bit scary now. 4 mana for Chalice on 2. Well, that's rough because now I can't cast Hurkyl's Recall. That's a little bit funny. But I can attack with Mutavault. And we will discard. At this point, we can't play anything to get rid of this. So he's playing a heavy control game here, and we're just hoping to draw Cavern of Souls, which will then free up all of our Merfolk. So I'll discard AEther Vial and pass. Actually, we've got 2 Reejereys. We don't necessarily need Cavern of Souls. We can just draw any other land for now. So getting an Urza's Mine gives him access to 6 mana this turn, which might just close out the game if he plays something like a Wormcoil Engine. So Chalice of the Void on the play like this is pretty rough. The Chalice on the 1 was fine. It's possible we could have seen Chalice on 2 coming if he ran that out so brusquely. Like Chalice on 1 against Merfolk is not really incredible. Past, I mean, unless it's on in Legacy and you're using like a Ancient Tomb or something. So Academy Ruins is just going to try to cycle Expedition Map, I guess. That's weird. Now he's got 3 mana available. So Academy Ruins is potentially a plan, so we could bring in, well, there's Wanderwine Hub. I think the play here is Reejerey. The opponent is, of course, threatening Oblivion Stone, and we can't. There's nothing we can do about it. Well, we can't cast without Cavern. We can't cast any of our 2 drops. So running Reejerey out. Next turn, I can run another Reejerey out, but it's still a pretty slow clock, and the opponent has the Oblivion Stone. I think I'm just going to run out the Wanderwine Hub, attack with Mutavault, and just kind of accelerate things a little bit. I sort of understand what's going on. That's weird. He was supposed to put Expedition Map on top of his library with blue, colorless, and Academy Ruins. That's why you get Academy Ruins, right? Maybe he's got, he's going to cycle the Oblivion Stone, but Oblivion Stone does nothing against Mutavault. Alright, pushing the 10-turn clock. Didn't play a land drop. Alright, so we've got Master of Waves mana now. Maybe we play out a Reejerey now. He's got mana up for Oblivion Stone, though. So I think I'm just going to attack with Mutavault. Yep. Alright, here comes the Expedition Map. A turn late. Going to draw that thing and get a mine. More Mutavaults would be awesome right now. He's tapping, man, he's tapping his Tron land to play Expedition Map and crack it. Maybe he wants to just keep getting it back. Ghost Quarter, yuck. Alright, so there's that cavern. That's pretty beautiful, actually. He has the Oblivion Stone and can start cycling it. He still doesn't have Tron online. So, I mean, we would love to just play out Reejerey with these lands and then play a Silvergill through Chalice, but he has blue mana up and can counter anything that I don't use Cavern for. So this turn, I think I just have to tap like this, play out a Reejerey. Actually, hold on a second. Yeah, well, Reejerey just lets me play out a bunch of stuff next turn. So let's just make him crack this Ghost Quarter now. Let's see if the opponent knows that Cavern makes my creatures uncounterable. Good. And now, if we attack like this, it means he can't activate Academy Ruins, but instead he's just going to take 3. Is going to activate Academy Ruins, putting Expedition Map on top. Or maybe he's doing something else. Maybe he's casting Thirst for Knowledge or something. This has been a really weird game, I have to say. It's not every game where you face down Chalice on 1, Chalice on 2, Oblivion Stone. What is it? I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know what the confusion was there. All right, so he's activating Academy Ruins and putting Expedition Map on the top of his library. Still doesn't have Tron. Okay, he's not going to activate Academy Ruins this time. He's going to tap his Tron land. Yeah, don't do that. Still leaving up blue mana. Taps, all right, 2 to going to crack that thing. Let's see what he does. He needs to get a mine if he wants Tron to be online, in which case he'll have like 7 mana, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, Karn exiling Cavern would be pretty disgusting, but I do have another Reejerey. Somehow, I mean, he's got mana up for Oblivion Stone, which then frees up more mana, since Spreading Seas would go away. Ghost Quarter on my Cavern. Okay, so that's going to get destroyed, and I'm going to get an island, and we see I only have 1 Cavern left in the deck. So now he has 6 mana available. And he just passes. Oh, we didn't draw. Alright, so he's got the Oblivion Stone. I think we activate an attack, see if he wants to crack Oblivion Stone to get rid of Reejerey, and then play out another Reejerey. That's 4 mana. Looks like, okay, he's repealing the Reejerey. Okay, takes 2. Second main, I will play out Wanderwine Hub, recast the Merrow Reejerey. Still don't have to give him the information that I have another one in hand. At this point, depending on how he taps next turn, well, again, the Oblivion Stone's on the board, so going for like an Alpha Strike is not really much of an option. Remember that the 2 cards over here to the right are uncastable. And these guys are only castable if I draw another Cavern. Opponent now has access to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. Not quite up at Emrakul territory yet. He's going to play another Oblivion Stone. That would be weird. Oh man, Chalice on... Oh, he's going to Condescend Chalice for 0. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, and then he's not paying it. So he's casting Chalice for 0, Condescending, and then opting... Oh, he's paying 0, so it does resolve. He doesn't like the cards he's seeing, which makes me feel pretty good. I wonder if he's just... Let's see. So Chalice, this Chalice is on 0. I don't have any 0 drops in my deck, so... He still has Academy Ruins. He can always cycle an Oblivion Stone, but Oblivion Stone, again, doesn't deal with Mutavault, and the opponent used his Ghost Quarter already. That's a lot of mana they're leaving up here. Master of Waves is very solid. I think the plan is just activate and attack. And he just takes 5. That's pretty cool. We've got lethal just with Mutavault. He's waiting to crack this Oblivion Stone. I wonder if he's just forgotten about it. Running out Master of Waves would be pointless here because of the Oblivion Stone. It's possible he's got Emrakul in hand, in which case playing out a Master of Waves would actually make sense. No, he can crack this on the end step. Let's see. Again, the opponent has how much mana? 7 between the Tron lands, and then 4 other lands makes it 11, I think. Right, 7 plus 4 is 11. I don't think he can get Emrakul next turn. Let's see how it goes. I do have another Merrow Reejerey. Okay. Oh, what is he doing? Oh, fate counters. So it's that time of the game. Wasn't thinking about the fate counters. I wonder if he missed any opportunities to do that. So tapping 3 mana here. Thirst for Knowledge. Nothing I can do about that. It is a 3-drop. Man, I haven't been paying attention. Hold on a second. Okay, this was for 0. I wasn't even paying attention. Chalice. Condescend. Man, I let him... Did I let him scry? I'm not paying attention to the... And Repeal was for 4, so that was fine. But Condescend was just a 1 mana spell because he paid 0 for X. I mean, it's my opponent's trigger. He should have watched it. If I called a judge, he would have, judge would have given him a warning or something. He has to discard for Thirst for Knowledge. I mean, I'm really just waiting for the opponent to resolve this Thirst for Knowledge here. I don't know what's going on. So he drew 3 cards and then put Thirst for Knowledge onto his battlefield. So it looks like he's not discarding an artifact, so we see Island and Condescend. He's got Oblivion Stone up, but that's not going to help with Mutavault. The opponent hasn't drawn any threats this game. If he draws, I mean, if he hits like Platinum Angel, obviously that's fantastic. I don't know why this is sitting here. I mean, he's taking a long time thinking about this, so I don't think his position is particularly strong. So does he have an answer to the Mutavault? Taps Academy Ruins. That's 4 mana. 5 mana. Ooh. So that's 4 mana, repealing. This doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, maybe he's trying to cast it for 4, bouncing the Chalice of the Void, casting Repeal for 5 mana, to bounce a 4/4, so... All right, good game. That was a really weird game. I would love to see the opponent's hand. I guess maybe someday I can look at the replay. So we got through Chalice on 1, 2, and 0, and Oblivion Stone. It's a strange play by the opponent. We had Master of Waves to follow up. Another Reejerey, another 2 Reejereys. So thanks for watching, guys. That was Merfolk against Mono Blue Tron. You got to see a little bit of how this deck works. It's not the most popular one in Modern right now, but you know, it is around, and it is a pretty cool deck. As I mentioned, one of my best friends who plays Magic. It's his main deck in Modern. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Please let me know your thoughts on the match. Thanks a lot.